The statistics, they look at our health of our Māori population in New Zealand being poorer than that of non-Māori. But that's not just because people don't have culture, it's because of an array of issues. So there's not one thing that we can say, that's why Māori are always sick, or that's why Māori have the worst statistics, or that's why Māori are killing themselves, or that's why Māori do this and that. I think if someone was to turn around and do that, then they haven't got the full picture. And if you look at Māori and how we existed pre-colonisation, we weren't perfect by any means then either, but we definitely had a society, we had a structure, we had a way of doing things that worked for us, and we weren't in any need for somebody to come in and change that. So I think due to the process of colonisation, due to the process of a government and the policies that we have today in society, due to racism, due to urbanisation, marginalisation, lots and lots of things, there are a lot of reasons why Māori struggle in their health today. And I think once you start to look at those broader determinants and see, actually that's the big picture. Actually, I can't fix the big picture. I can't change. I have a lot of students say to me, that stuff happened before I was born, that's not my problem. And I think, yeah, okay, it's not your individual problem, but what is our problem today is that we still have Māori dying a lot younger than non-Māori. We still have all these issues. And if we just continue to say it's not my problem, then nothing will change. And I think we've got a great responsibility as a country of people to actually look at what are we going to do. Are we going to look at what happened in the past and make sure it doesn't happen again? Or are we just going to carry on saying that's not my problem and let the statistics remain the way they are? So a lot of the stuff that we do, we talk about hearts and minds and changing hearts and changing mind attitudes towards Māori. I mean, if you've grown up in a non-Māori family and there has been a lot of racism or there has been a lot of misconstrued ideas and you've grown up with that and you haven't been taught anything else, why would you think any other way? That's just how you've been raised. So again, for Māori, if you've grown up in a steeped Māori community and you have your philosophies and your way of doing things and you haven't been shown any other differences, why would you think about anything differently? So I guess for me, the fact that I am Māori and I am Pākehā means that I've been able to look at myself and go, what do you think about that? A bit of a split personality perhaps. What do you think? What do my ancestors... What were their responsibilities? Yay, I get what happened in our history, but what is my responsibility now as Anna today? What can I do? And I guess for me it's raising awareness for everybody that I come in contact with around how it is for Māori right now, and also what are our options for improving for this generation. So solely I say to my students, the reason I do the work I do is because I want things to be different for my children, and I want things to be different for my children's children. In 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, we're still on this planet. I want my kids to be happy and thriving and be healthy. I don't want them to die sooner than others. I don't want them to be suffering from illnesses that they didn't need to even have. I want them to be able to walk into a hospital service and have their name pronounced correctly and get the treatment that they deserve. And I want them to be able to afford to be able to do that. I want them to have really good education. And to be able to not just accept how our culture is here in New Zealand, but I want them to have a global perspective of what else is out there and not be stuck in a small-minded perspective, but be open to looking at what everybody else does. And maybe you will agree, maybe you won't. That's okay. There'll be times where you think, I just disagree with that. And I guess if you're a critical thinker, you'll be wondering why you disagree with that. You'll come up with your own conclusions. Does that mean I'm going to hate that person or treat that person any differently? No, I don't think so. I think we need to start looking at accepting other cultures, accepting all cultures for who they are as people. And I think we haven't quite got that here in New Zealand yet, and yet I look at other Indigenous groups around the world and I think far out we're a heck of a lot better than they are. As Māori people, we have a lot more rights in Aotearoa to be Māori, to speak our own language, to be proud of who we are, to celebrate. We have festivals that we're able to celebrate our talents, but yet we still haven't quite got it right for our families that are still suffering in prisons, in hospitals, in society, and I guess a lot of work still to be done.